made some pretty
He's gonna go
pretty
cry.
out of
He's gonna
line
go cry.
comments to George about George's beliefs.
Oh, here we
I
go.
Said, I'm not going to say what I said. I'm not even going there again because I'll tell you why. The following 3 weeks have been the hardest period of my fucking life. Buddy, God kicked me in the dick as hard as he fucking could. It's soon
We call
as it
that
started
a
happening.
God smack.
I
You
went-
got
I went-
God smack,
I went.
son.
There's no way. There's no way. We started off in Qatar. I got violent food poisoning.
Oh, before that, camera taken away at the airport.
Oh yeah,
Immediately
$20,000
upon
camera
landing,
ticket.
so-
We were invited by Qatar.
This is what happens when you try to commit defamation on God.
We landed Qatar. Camera stripped from us. All right, fire. $20,000 camera. All right, no problem.
Which he got.
We got it back a couple days later, but we get to my hotel. It's just little things here and there. Things aren't showing up. We misscheduled. Again, got violent fucking food poisoning. Next day, got alcohol poisoning. Our luggage was delayed, so we had no clothes to get to our events. Qatar was the first time I felt the wrath of God, and then and then the Zilla stuff.
The first time? What about the forest, Logan? Why do you keep he keeps trying to make people forget about that?
And I had some shit happen in Denmark when I was supposed to meet my girlfriend's parents. Listen, I ironically I defamed Jesus and God,
Yeah.
and I felt his wrath.
That's exactly what I just said.
And by the way, I want to make something clear, and I have something I'd like to say to you that I've been thinking about, but I'm gonna say that for a second because I want to hear your take on this. But I'm not a fucking atheist. I believe in God. People think I don't believe in God. It might not identify as the same God as you, but it was very telling to me how the karmic energy of the universe, this is what I'll call it, just went right back around and put me in my place.
Karma's a bitch.
You want me to tell you something? I'll make this quick because people tend not to love when I talk about Jesus. But let me just tell you something. Actually, no, I don't want to come off like condescending. This is actually how I feel. Because I came off like funny, but I don't want people to think I'm telling a joke. The night before it happened, bro, I'm sitting and I'm reading the Bible. And I literally say a prayer to God. And I go, man, like, this is when me and you were kind of like going back and forth. And I was getting pissed at you. And I was like, fucking dude, God, I know you love him, but I want to kill him. I want to punch him in the face. I want to hurt. Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
But I know you don't want me to. And I know you love him. And I know this opportunity between two best friends could open a lot of people's eyes to who God is. So I sat there and I said, God, whatever direction. And by the way, I was getting so much heat for the Bobby Lee thing, for walking off. This was the period, right? So I sat there and I go, God, what do you want from me, bro? And I swear I have two witnesses. God says, be quiet and love. And I was just like, whoa. And like, bro, like I felt it, right?
Wait, who are the witnesses?
Watch. So I'm in the kitchen, Belle's cooking dinner. And I sat there and I go, Belle, I think God just talked to me. Like, I'm not trying to be like a lunatic. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, I think, and hear me out, I think I just got to talk out of love. I got to talk out of love. And she's like, why do you keep saying that? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I got to talk out of love. And it was so strong in my heart, bro. I left my Bible and my phone right by Belle. And I sat on the couch and I'm just sitting off. And I'm like, bro, what does he want from me? What does he want from me? What does he want me to do? How can I fix this? How can I go and
Wow.
and portray Jesus in the best way possible?
That's so cool.
I get a phone call. I miss it because I'm over here. Another phone call. She goes, hey, Adam is blowing up your phone. The guy who works, from the chiropractor place. And I answer the phone. He's dripping wet, bro. Like he just got out of the shower. He goes, bro, I got to tell you something. He goes, whatever you're doing, Jesus told me to tell you that he loves you and yes. And I'm like, what? I go, why did you just say that? Belle put her knife down. I go, buddy, back up. Why did you say that? He goes, I have no idea what's going on. I'm in the shower because that's why he was wet. He goes, I'm praying about my family, my friend. He goes, 3 times in my prayer, God interrupted me. He goes, go tell George whatever he feels in his heart is right. So I go, whoa. The next day I'm standing here on the podcast and you're saying this shit. And I'm like, whoa, he's really like spewing out his heart. Like he's really spewing out his heart. And 2 things I caught in our conversation that we were having When I said, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, you said, he's mine too. And that rang in my heart. I go, that's weird. Because like we're not seeing that on the same page. And then
Yeah.
you were fighting that I needed a therapist and that the Bible wasn't enough. And I said, I think the Bible has more knowledge than any man. And you said, I think that has merit to it.
Wait,
And-
say that again. Please say that again.
That the Bible has more wisdom than a man who's trying to like,
Or woman.
or woman, or
therapist,
whatever, with therapist. And you said, yeah, I believe that has merit to it. And it was at that moment, bro, where I was like, oh my God, like we're learning. So how I see it is God has an arrow, right? And I'm sitting here thinking I'm right, and you're sitting there thinking you're right. And
Yes.
I had a habit of speaking out of like, yo, I have to convince you, I have to do this. But sometimes it didn't come from love because I'm convicted and I'm just trying to like help you. And then you're like, nah, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. And all we had to learn is like, regardless of what you say and regardless of what I say, speak out of love. Speak out of love. So then when the whole world went from like, look at this pussy, he doesn't know how to talk, he's so stupid, he talks about Jesus, he walks off, and then you did what you did, and then God literally took the whole world and flipped it on its head. And it was right at the moment where I was like battling. I'm like, God, like, you gave me everything that I have to sit in this chair. I go, am I speaking too much about you? Are people getting annoyed? Like, what's the deal? What's happening here? And to be honest, bro, like, it just came to the conclusion of this. There is a very, very, very real God. I don't care who stands before me now. There is a very real God. And if anything, Logan, you should take away that, bro, like, the Japan thing was one thing, but you're a good-hearted person. And you learned from that and you moved on. And a lot of people in the comment section was like, Logan doesn't deserve George. George should leave and go do other podcasts. And I sat there, and I really mean to say this from my heart, bro. Like, what kind of man are you that when your friend says something or does something that you're like, okay, now the one time he fucks with me, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not. Like, it really made me realize that we are in a generation fueled by burn the neighbor that's next to you. And I just wanted to take the time to say thank you for everything you've given to me. Thank you for the opportunity you've given to me. I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through. But God loves you, and he is still with you, regardless of the situation that you put yourself in, regardless in the light that you want to paint yourself in. There is a very real God that will walk through this journey with you. Even though the whole world turned against you, that God is right near you. Neither him or me or Mike or any single person here will ever abandon a man like you because you're not worth abandoning, and I love you.
Wow.
Well, maybe not the. If you could
I
say
love you.
anything else, yeah. Besides the Lord's
Fuck,
name
that
in
was
vain.
probably horrible.
Yeah,
to say
no,
after
it's-
that, right?
yeah.
It's just how I speak. Listen, I fucking love you. That was incredible, and I feel it. I feel it, George.
That was the most beautiful thing probably ever said to Logan Bull.
Hey, you! I see you there. If you like what you see in this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks!
Like
Uh.
I feel God's presence in my life. I just don't identify as a particular thing, and my God might not be the same as yours. Maybe it is. I don't fucking know. It's what
Of
makes the
course.
friendship.
Whatever happened to their friend Mark Donor? I guess that's a whole nother topic we can cover at some point.
Strong.
Yeah.
And I'm here learning and growing and trying to be the best person that I can be. The difference is I'm doing it all in front of y'all.
True.
The most important thing to me was the relationship that I have with you.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were able to reach a common ground as we always do, which is I think why I'm so comfortable being so blunt with you sometimes. I shouldn't have done it. In the way that I did it.
Yeah.
As long as we're good, dude, I'm
Of
happy.
course.
I'll take all the
course.
heat online. And
I do want to say one last thing. I learned a lot from you. We have two different point of views in life, and we pick off of each other. A lot of people don't see that because it's behind cameras, but I really want to speak to the people that are willing to listen, and I say that because a lot of people aren't. But be careful
Good.
how you treat the people around you, bro, because it will come full circle towards you. No one's perfect. There's a lot of passion that goes behind politics and religion. And if you can't separate
sure.
somebody's passion, this becomes war. And so what I want to see is I want to see people that see from Logan's point of view that's like, hey, you know what? I grew up in a situation where my best friend was gay, so I don't love the religion that you serve because why push this guy aside or blah, blah, blah. his feelings and his directions doesn't mean he's the only one that feels this way. So even though the Christian community came and backed me, Muslims backed me, Jewish people backed me, I love it. But what we should be fighting for is, bro, equal love. If you worship a God or you don't worship a God, or you see a painting and you see it in a way that nobody else will see it,
Yes.
your point of view is not greater than your neighbor's. No other religion, no, I don't believe that you have to be a part of something and say it's this or nothing, because nobody's point of view, nobody's religion, and nobody's love should ever dictate the neighbor next to you. And if you're not,
Because objectively, everyone has their own opinion on religion. That everyone can believe a different thing. See, I personally believe Jesus Christ is my savior, and he came here to earth to die for every single person who has ever existed, their sin. And he has forgiven everything anyone can ever do. That's what my belief is. And I think that's a pretty good promise of a belief. But yes, everyone can believe whatever they want to believe. There was a Logic song, and he said, let people believe what they want to believe. Just stop killing each other. Like, that's exactly how we should live. And maybe killing each other is too harsh, because it's like, it's cancel culture. Like, you're not, hopefully not killing people, but his statement at the end of that song still holds true.
not mature enough or educated enough to hear somebody's point of view and just take it with love and be like, okay, yeah, it's not for me, or it is for me, then look yourself in the mirror and be like, what am I contributing to this earth? Because it ain't love. Because I could sit with any single man in front of me, I don't care how sinful he is, and we could have a great conversation. And I was broken that the whole world watched me and you come up from Vine and say, nah, it's the time that he leaves. That is heartbreaking, because that just shows me that we're living in a world where somebody can mess up and be like, nah, this guy needs to die. This is like witch hunting. Back in the day, if you didn't like somebody, you said, nah, he's a witch, and then they would burn him.
Yes.
I don't want that to like get too like far in that direction, because it's important that people see what happened, and really understand that that type of conversation shouldn't happen. Like, the world is becoming nastier and nastier every fucking day. People are being very mean to each other out there, and everybody out there is going through something. Everybody out there is going through something. Look at anybody in the room, any person in here that I look at, they're going through some evil, some demon that no one else in the world knows about. And people really, really, really need to start checking themselves and how they talk to other people. We all need to start respecting each other a little bit more and being a little bit kinder and nicer to each other.
1,000%. But there is going to be a day, Mike, where you, Logan, me, anybody here is going to have a bad day. And this is where empathy and sympathy should kick in. This guy talked to me in a really disrespectful way, but God, I pray that whatever he's dealing with, he deals with it.
And I did see some of those comments, which was good. I saw some people that were like, listen, I'm a diehard Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I was deeply offended by what Logan said, but I don't demonize him. I don't.
Exactly.
I
that's exactly what I said in my video. I don't want to cancel Logan. That's why the video is titled "Why Logan Paul is Wrong About Christians." I'm not saying he's a horrible person. Well, I was kind of mad when I made that video, so at the beginning when I made that statement, I did say he is a terrible person, but like realistically, he's not a terrible person. He just doesn't understand religion, I guess, or doesn't care to understand it really, because that's just not his prerogative.
I have 100 text messages. Yo, the way this is being delivered, the way you're joking about this, the way you're saying this shit to George has to stop. I was texting him on the side, in group chats, everything. And until that happened, no change was going to be made. That was a learning lesson. The question that I got, which was interesting, from so many people, so many content creators, so many, you know, fellow podcast hosts, so many people from the audience even, was how the fuck does that podcast see the light of day? I had so many people ask me, how does that podcast go?
Because God gives wisdom and he took it back. I will say the same thing that happened in Japan, and I'll say the same thing now. You worship your brain, not in a bad way. You find, because when you walk in a room, you realize quick, like, I'm a little smarter than these guys. I'm quicker than
Hold
these
on a
guys.
second.
Yeah, I wasn't going.
Yeah,
that
I'm not
way.
gonna
Can
let-
I
I'm not
finish?
gonna
Yeah,
let-
can I?
Nah, bro.
Hold
I
on.
believe
Let me
I'm
finish
not
this
gonna let
point.
you. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you do that.
But it's true,
Well,
bro.
also-
How did
also-
it go
That's gonna get
past
clipped.
so many people?
Well, hold
You're
on.
saying
Well,
it's gonna take
No,
the
bro,
wrong way?
I'm not gonna let you try to explain how I feel about my intellect.
No,
in
I
a
just said
room of
wisdom was
people.
taken away.
Yeah, but you said some other shit about how I feel about when I walk into a room.
Not true. Every single person feels this way. It's not just you. So if you made it seem like it was just you, my bad.
'Cause I'm gonna start to push back on when you speak
Absolutely.
to me.
I'll use myself as an example, so I don't offend. When I start getting
I
hot,
was like going somewhere with that question.
Oh, my
I
bad,
was like
my bad, my
lobbing
bad, my
something
bad.
up there.
I'm just saying that just real quick, humans worship themselves, and I said this in the podcast before.
Sure.
They worship themselves because they're the only people that are hearing and seeing from their point of view.
Right.
So they think their point of view is right. But I just have to say, it's kind of ironic, bro. Like, just like the same thing. It was a learning curve, but it needed to pass. If it didn't pass through other people, all these other people being like, nah, I think this is good to post. All of us, I said it on the podcast and after the podcast. Do not post this podcast. It's not going to look well.